the Rams proved why some of us, maybe those of us here who don't use a middle initial in our name, were right to be skeptical of this Arizona team for weeks. You know, throughout the course of this season, when I've said the Packers and the Bucs are in a tier above them, I think, Keyshawn, you've been with me on this one.
100%.
Cardinals fans have said, look at our record, look at our quarterback. Why aren't you talking about him as MVP? Cliff Kingsbury, Coach of the Year. The disrespect. You lost to the Rams, and the Rams had one hand tied behind their back. And while Los Angeles, I think, still has more to prove in terms of consistency, they showed that when that offense is clicking, particularly the play-action passing game, Cardinals don't have an answer. I thought Kyler Murray made some great plays, but down the stretch, both he and Cliff Kingsbury made some crucial mistakes that reminded us we were right all along to be skeptical.
Yeah, when you haven't been there, Mina, as I tell people, it's hard to understand in the National Football League. Cliff Kingsbury or Kyler Murray has been in a situation like that. That was somewhat of a playoff atmosphere, must-win for the Rams, and a must-win for Arizona if they wanted to stay pace to get that first-round bye. A lot of people, including the guy sitting to my right, just felt like, oh, the Arizona Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, the baddest receiver in the league. It slowed down yesterday because they put a good game plan together, both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. In fact, they found OBJ. They realized, oh, we got another weapon outside of Cooper Kupp. Y'all think we only going to throw the Cooper Kupp? Here we go. Oh, we can go over the top to Vance Jefferson as well. And so when you look at that, that didn't occur the first matchup against them earlier in the year. They allowed Kyler Murray to get out on the perimeter. They allowed Kyler Murray to scramble around and throw the football. This time, they kept his butt in the pocket. Although he made a couple good throws, but he made some ill-advised throws due to the pressure of Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Floyd in that game. Stephen A., your turn.
It's interesting that you bring that up. It's amazing how you bring up the Van Jefferson reception and act like, you know what, they were looking for him all day. They targeted him 3 times. They targeted Cooper Kupp 15 times. But that's neither here nor there. I love how excuse me, I'm not finished. I let you talk. Let me get this in. I see, somebody with the initials MK, I don't bring up the fact that, you know what, she's sitting up there getting hoisted in the air by Swagoos of the world. She's sitting up there talking about Seattle gonna win. I'm not gonna bring up the bevy of names that came on this show when I was talking about the Cleveland Browns and how they never go into the playoffs. People were saying they go into the playoffs. When the Patriots were 2-4, everybody was counting them out. Everybody was talking about the Kansas City Chiefs like trash as well. I remember all of these things that were going on from all of these aficionados that come over to this show. But because the Arizona Cardinals lost one game last night, one game, just one game on a Monday Night Football game, a team that they stomped out weeks earlier, but the team got payback last night. Because of that one game, suddenly we gonna forget Kyler Murray can ball, and A.J. Green has been resurrected, and DeAndre Hopkins, who dropped the pass in the red zone for crying out loud. We don't see that often. So I'm just saying it's all right for y'all to act like that right now. We tried to tell Stephen A. We tried to tell the dude with the only dude on the show with the initials.
Yeah, I like that line.
The middle initials and stuff. We tried to tell him, but he wouldn't listen. I got a whole bunch of evidence, a mountain of evidence that y'all didn't listen to throughout this season. So y'all keep starting that crap with me, all right?
It's fluid. Week to week.
It's fluid. It's fluid. That's what it is.
Fluid.
Okay.
It's
all right.
fluid.
Yeah, it's that's what Mina.
Week to week.
It's fluid, Mina.
It's fluid, but you have been consistently high on the Arizona Cardinals. I watch this show every week. You have been saying week after week after week, we are sleeping on Arizona.
When have I had a reason not to be before last night? When have I had a reason not to be since last night?
I think the question is, were they exposed last night? And look, I want to be clear. I still think the Arizona Cardinals are a good football team. I still think Kyler Murray is excellent. I still think what Vance Joseph has done with this defense is impressive. But we're not talking about good.
Do you think they're a contender?
We're not talking about good. We're talking about the difference between good teams and Super Bowl teams. And we're talking about why the Rams
Is the Rams a Super Bowl team?
I think the Rams and the Cardinals are in the same tier below the Packers and the Bucs. And I think that's what we learned last night.
And I'm with you, Mina. I'm with you 100%.
And you're saying they are a Super Bowl team.
I think they're a Super Bowl contender. Absolutely.
Arizona.
I think Arizona's a Super Bowl contender.
Wait, didn't we just
do
Stevens A?
So what? That's just for this week.
Hold on. Can I get my camera? Because I don't usually get a camera. I'm just wondering, Did we just do a Stevens
Yes.
A list?
And
Yes,
they went
we
in,
did.
and I knocked them out the top 5.
And you
And I knocked them
didn't
out the top
have
5.
Arizona. I
Yes.
can't keep up with you.
Why?
There's just
Well,
all
well,
these
you know what,
takes.
Molly, listen, you don't need the Peloton or the treadmill. I'm certainly not trying to imply that.
Yeah.
But if you went on it, you'd be able to keep up with me because that's what I'm doing right now. It's fluid, y'all.
Okay.
And I'm
Does
talking to
your
you too,
treadmill
Nina,
go
and you
backwards?
too,
Because that's
Keyshawn.
what I'm
I know.
hearing. I'm
Well,
hearing
it's
a lot of
not back-
backtracking.
It's backtracking, a lot of
It's not backtracking, y'all.
Yeah.
The point is, the list is fluid.
Yeah, I just
and
felt dizzy 'cause
at
it's
the
block to
end of
block.
the day, what I'm saying
let me
is
ask you this, though, Stephen
the
A.
Arizona Cardinals, when the playoffs arrive, they will be that team. It's just that you lost last night without Higbee and Jalen Ramsey,
let me ask
and I
you
held
this,
it
though,
against
Stephen
you
A.
for the A-list.
And Mina, chime in here real quick for me. So you believe in a coach that has never been to a playoff, nor a quarterback, that they can go to the Super Bowl? You believe that?
Here is why I would be deeply worried if I was a Cardinals fan after last night. Not because you lost to the Rams, who were missing, some of their best players, but because you lost the 1 seed. And I don't know if you guys were watching Green Bay and what they did on offense this weekend, that 9-minute drive where you're churning out completions and runs. Arizona does not want any of that smoke. Arizona does not want to go to Lambeau in January, and that's what was so problematic for the Cardinals after this game.
Wait a minute, though. The Cardinals lost in Arizona, okay? But they were 7-0. They're 7-0 on the road this season. And I'm not saying they want to go into Lambeau
And
Field.
it was
I'm
not
not saying they want to go into Lambeau
Lambeau.
Field. But my point
Yeah,
is,
we're talking
what about
Lambeau
everywhere
in
else?
January.
What about everywhere else?
We're talking about a bye
in
so
a
that's been lost.
cold.
Florida. What's wrong with going to those places?
You going up against Tom damn Brady, man.
understand.
Come
I
on
understand.
now. And I just said to you, a first-time head coach and a first-time quarterback in the playoffs.
I did not pick the Arizona Cardinals
Yeah,
to come
you
out
did.
of the NFC.
Yeah, you
What
did.
I said is that we were answering the question about
Okay.
whether or not they're a Super
Okay.
Bowl contender.
You know what?
You can't rule them out. They could beat anybody.
You know what?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.